Welcome back to Retrobytes. Creating Retrobytes videos don't always go to plan. Some videos never make it to YouTube. 2019 had a couple of interesting ones. There are a couple of reasons a video won't make it to completion. Some are uninteresting, some are inconsequential, and some are just a bad idea. And sometimes I get so disheartened moving into a project that I just drop it. An example of that was this IBM ThinkPad R50 that I started on over my vacation. Beautiful machine. When it comes to resurrecting old PCs, broken PCs, I like to make sure that I can actually fix them before I start filming. And then I'll act surprised when I see that I got it working. So I spent an hour troubleshooting the ThinkPad R50 before I started filming, and I found that if I replace the memory module under the keyboard, it fires right up. So I set up and I started filming, and I dug into the laptop and I changed the memory module out under the keyboard and tried to fire it up, and it wouldn't start. And I couldn't figure out why. I mean, just a few hours ago I changed that memory module out and it worked, but now it doesn't work. So I spent another 2 hours troubleshooting off camera, trying to get the thing to boot, trying everything that I could think of, but it never booted again. So hours wasted because I don't want to upload a video of me trying to repair something. Other videos I start in on, and the results I expect to get end up being inconsequential. This happened in October when I started on a video to see if Windows 10's fast boot feature would give you faster boot times than maybe just replacing your hard drive in your old computer with an SSD. But as it turned out, the Windows 10 fast boot feature is actually very beneficial for computers with old spinning hard drives, and it's enabled by default. So what's the point of the video? Another recent folly was spending hours on what seemed like a good idea at the time, which was to create a tech news style show, but the news was for 20 years ago, and I was going to call it Retro News. And my thought at the time was that, with a few hours of script writing every week, I could bang out a middle of the week video, a Wednesday video, that's just tech news from 20 years ago. But that ended up being a bad idea. Took a lot more time than I thought. It wasn't helped by me spending hours creating a title sequence. Welcome to Retro News. This week, 20 years ago. So I ended up scrapping that idea. In addition to it taking too long to create that sort of content, I don't have a teleprompter. So me delivering the tech news was really me just staring down at my laptop and reading a script and occasionally looking up at the camera, and it just looks silly. Other ideas that I had for 2019 that never got off the ground, I tried to install Linux, like a modern Ubuntu, on a 200 megahertz laptop, but I couldn't get it to install, so that never worked. I started in on a AM3 platform build to compete head-to-head against the Goodwill Gaming PC, but then I ended up blowing up the Goodwill Gaming PC, so that got scrapped. I'll revisit that though once I get the Goodwill Gaming PC up and running. Still working on that. Around May, I bought an Atomic Pi single board computer, thinking that this would be a great platform for emulating old video games, but it turns out it wasn't very good at emulating old video games. So again, the premise of the video was inconsequential, so that got scrapped. I also had a few hauls that I never shared with you guys. I've had some really great pickups that I still need to make videos on. The problem with those would be like they were spaced out, in time. Like I had a garage sale pickup where I found a Voodoo 3, but after I filmed the content and unboxing and talking about it, I only had a 3-minute video, so I never uploaded that. So I've had my share of failed videos for 2019. But 2020 looks pretty promising, and I'm excited to share my hobby with you guys. I love spending my weekends recording videos for you guys, and I hope you're enjoying them as well. If you are, please subscribe, and I'll keep the good content coming, and I look forward to seeing you in 2020. Take care. The flagship consumer chip in this line is the Pentium 3 733. Oh no.